we're going to take a look at the sailing nerfs today. I'm going to dive in with all of my infinite knowledge of RuneScape and let you guys know what I think about this nerfs. Okay, let's read. Everybody lock in, chat. Let's see what actually happened. Okay, let me zoom in because I'm a boomer. You've read the news post title, you've seen the panic memes about the crystal extractor being thrown overboard, and now you've undoubtedly got your thoughts of your own regarding sailing's XP balancing. We've been reading all over, watching your journeys, and working with our data analysts to get a real sense of how players are progressing through sailing, where the common pain points are, and areas that might harm our ability to expand the skill with further training methods. Ship combat. What are the biggest pain points? Okay, they're asking questions about, these are the questions that they're asking. They're asking questions about how to improve ship combat, deep sea trawling, XP rates, drop rates, pain point, prioritization, iron and ultimate iron concerns. With all of that feedback, we expect each sailing activity to sit alongside each other in regards to XP per hour and viability as training. The only thing, my favorite thing about sailing so far as a level 52 sailor was the salvaging. And apparently they might have nerfed it. So let's see what they're saying here. Barracuda trials are the most intensive and skill-based training method and should remain at the top. Meaning the temper tantrums shouldn't be dominating all your training if you're already above level 50 sailing. The downside is that their XP gain is fairly static and really only scales up with the boat speed and player skill. So it plateaus and incrementally with boat upgrades. This allows training methods unlocked at later levels to eventually surpass them. You can see this effect across the entire skill where a new trial is reached. Every other method starts getting higher XP to try and keep up. Nothing is as fast as sailing in circles. Sailing in circles is the fastest. The trials. Courier port tasks are the bread and butter baseline for all sailing XP and should be relevant for most of their sailing journey. They are not likely to be the highest XP earners for most level brackets, but may have their time to shine in level brackets between trial unlocks. This is the bread and butter baseline. Salvaging is primarily AFK, allowing players to earn loot while gaining XP. It's aimed to be a very second monitor friendly, with the option to participate in tick manipulation methods for those inclined for greater returns. Tick manips will sort the salvage should be a reasonably competitive option. Below Marlin rank Barracuda trials for those who prefer this method of training. Though we'll never balance this method specifically around tick manips, since we understand it has a reasonably niche appeal. Bounty port tasks are a way to train sailing via combat, but are unintentionally not trying to be a competitive XP provider, as we would like to keep sailing focused around non-combat training instead of making it a combat skill. These provide a reasonable option for those who wish to seek out rare sea creature drops while gaining some XP on the side. So sailing hunter, which is called bounty port tasks, this is where you actually kill stuff with your cannons. And they don't want this to be a main XP competitor. They want it to be under sailing in circles and maybe slightly more competitive than the AFK method. So it's like mid. This is like a mid-tier thing. It seems like they want courier port tasks and Barracuda trials to be the best XP, but with Barracuda trials being the number one. And that's kind of how I saw it already. But in my personal opinion, salvaging was in a decent spot at level 52. At higher levels, there might have been abusers, so let's read a little bit more. Deep sea trawling is a fishing and sailing hybrid training method, primarily focused around obtaining valuable fish. Deep sea trawling. Okay. This is not a significant XP driver in order to keep the price of fish high and should instead be considered as a reasonable way for high-level fishers and sailors to earn money as a reward for their skills. Okay, so it's like a money-making method, not an XP method. With core sailing training methods, we have a philosophy that level is king. As a rule of thumb, higher level unlocks should always try to award more XP than low level unlocks as baseline before then considering the intensity of the method. Okay, crystal extractor. I don't know what this is. People have kind of been talking about the crystal extractor and saying that this got nerfed. So let's read up on what this is. We'll start with arguably the most consensus part of sailing's XP balancing, the crystal extractor. This innocuous unlock has sparked a lot of conversations and, in a sense, warped the majority of sailing's prog around it. The crystal extractor is a boat facility you can build at 73 sailing. For your troubles, you gain a facility which generates a wind mote every 60 seconds, granting 600 XP when harvested. It takes 3 ticks to harvest, or 4 ticks if you count the time it takes to interact with the extractor. Meaning, in the time you're actually interacting with it, your effective XP per hour is around 1.2 million. What? People are getting 1.2 million an hour? The single most valuable thing that you could possibly do when there's a moat ready to be harvested is click your crystal extractor, which adds up an additional 34k per hour for players paying enough attention to click it once per minute. Our initial expectations for the extractor were for it to close the gap between lower intense activities, such as port tasks, shipwreck salvaging, and higher intensity activities like the Barracuda trials earlier in development. Okay. Having said all that, we appreciate as the mini sailors that keep enjoying the top of their extractor and weaving all their harvests in between actions. We're not looking to completely gut it or remove emergence from all of you. We'll be reducing the XP per harvest to 250 XP, which means you can get an extra 14k per hour from your extractor. Sizable but necessary buff. Along with this change, we're making an improvement to the extractor, which allows it to generate charges even when you're at a port until you've been disembarked. Okay, so it can store charges when you're docked, so you get a few more clicks. Before we dive into activities, we'll say that we're not planning on any XP changes to Barracuda trials since they're already taking a hit as a result of the crystal extractor change. Ooh, everyone's going to get less XP now on trials because of the extractor not giving you as much XP when you click it anymore. Damn! Even sailing in circles got nerfed a bit. It's not much, though. It's like 20k an hour. That's if you were being efficient. It's not bad. I'm not a very efficient gamer, so I probably wouldn't even notice it. We'll be increasing the completion XP offered by courier tasks from level 40 and above by 50%. Okay, this is a W. So if you want to run Amazon, if you want to do delivery tasks, go here, go there, come back. Amazon got buffed. So port tasks, a little more XP for that now. Moose raid. Thank you, Moose, my friend, for the raid. Hopefully you had an amazing day on a stream. We're just reading up about the nerfs. Malding out. What is up, boys? I'll drop the bomb on the stream for that Moose raid right there. Thank you. What's up, buddy? Hopefully I see you Friday, Moose. We're gonna try to raid with LMGD Friday. Maybe do a little earlier raid for the EU guys. I'm thinking 12 p.m. Maybe I'll post it up at OSRS. Yo, 12 p.m. CST raid for EU this week. TOA Friday. React if you can make it at this time. All right. Let's see if the EU boys are ready. Moose with 87 sailing today. Moose, they nerfed you, bro. They nerfed your XP. I was going to AFK salvage all the way up. And now that got nerfed too. I already thought salvaging was kind of slow, but apparently they thought salvaging was too AFK and too fast of XP. I thought salvaging was crawling. I don't know why, but I thought salvaging was slow as crap. I must be out of touch completely with the game. Player salvaging will now be 5 tick, but with increased success rates. It was too strong at the high end. Okay, I'm such a low-level sailing that it's tough, yeah. I only have a very low-level take on sailing. I'm 52, and I've only done it for 2 days. But I did salvaging for like 4 hours and got 2 levels in the 50s. So I'm thinking salvaging is pretty damn good where it was at, but maybe it was too fast. 1.5 tick manips just got buffed. Okay, so so the success rate here buff means every time you send your hook down, it's probably coming up with something on the line now. it has less chance to fail and get nothing, which is pretty cool. I don't like to miss. So in a way, you're going to get more loot. So maybe now you have higher chance of getting the medallion, but you'll get less XP for doing it. You also get more trash, so you have to drop more stuff, but yeah. It's almost about the same loot because you salvage slower. Oh, because it's one tick longer. Oh, so it's about, it evens out almost. Hard to put all this together and understand exactly how each of these approaches to shipwreck salvaging might be impacted. The oversimplified version is that we estimate these numbers to be a 20 to 30% nerf for AFK salvaging from level 35 and beyond, and around a 20% buff to more high-intensity approaches of salvaging. So they're buffing the tick manippers. Oh my god, those damn filthy tick manippers, bro. I just want to AFK and not get carpal tunnel. It's worth noting that the majority of 20 to 30% nerf here assumes that you're maintaining good uptime on your crystal extractor. So if you've been taking it easy and missing out on harvesting every minute, you'll likely see a smaller reduction in XP. Shifting the XP onto salvaging rather than sorting means you'll notice more of the benefits from upgrading your hook. The current paradigm with sorting doing so much lifting with the sheer volume of XP added by the crystal extractor, meaning upgrading your salvaging hook multiple tiers doesn't result in noticeable increases in XP. But these increases should be more noticeable with today's update. They're trying to say if you upgrade your boat, you'll get better XP. You'll get more noticeable XP when you upgrade your sailing nerf TBC hardcore hype. Okay, I don't know if it's that serious. That's funny though. Nobody likes nerf or feeling like they missed out on stronger early XP rates. I missed the juicy XP. My life is over. I'm never doing sailing. These changes are creating more space for us to add new methods or activities in the gaps to flesh out a varied progression curve with a large breadth of gameplay for players to enjoy the years to come. God, and yeah, and Joker's already 99. Oh. He can't keep getting away with it. These changes aren't set in stone or unchanging forever. The balance process will take time to get right. Let us know your thoughts once you've gotten hands-on in the game. Other sailing changes. XP rewards. XP lamps and tiers of Gothics can now be used on sailing. Oh! That was quick. Let's go.